This is Logical Mgtow Spock. I thought I'd do a video on what women think they can get away with. Just to start. Although I won't put that on the label. Anyway, apparently if we flake on the woman, they wonder why. They wonder if it was them. They wonder what made him make the date and not show up. What happened to him? Of course, that's not always a general thing to where they wonder all the time what happened to us men. But yet, whenever we show up at the particular time and specific place, and if the woman decides to flake, they think nothing of it. They don't even if they do call, they think they can come up with all sorts of reasons. And really, they really didn't have any interest in us. But here's the thing: women think that they have a just reason to use us as objects, in the sense that we are their financial support, in the sense that they don't they don't they don't want they don't want to have to feel like they have to work all their lives. And even if they do, they would know that the man would be able to circumvent their pay wage or income for themselves. Yet, yet, even if it isn't the type of person that they want to be, if any one of us men are not really the type they would want to be with, but yet they essentially latch on to us because aside from our promises in our youth, um, they see how far it'll go. But yet, when we go to the points to where we can't afford a whole hell of a lot, even for that one particular time being, they dislike themselves, even emotionally, and try to latch themselves onto somebody that has elongated income and spending capacity. Not really spending for both, but only spending on the woman. Mm, the general fact of it is that yes, we men have used and seen women as only one thing: pieces of meat, sexual objects, and various other things. And what Tom Likas says, the cum dumpster. Um, basically, but that doesn't give, regardless of the way men have viewed women, doesn't mean that women have to tag along and treat us as if we are the female feminist bullshitters bank vault. We are not the bank vault, if they don't like the fucking fact that they are seen as only something to ejaculate in, then they should give us the same respect and not consider us as their secondary income, because we are not. The basic fact is that we are not the secondary income to and for women, even if we were to be in a relationship with the woman or even married to the bitch. And I saw a video that mentioned the red pill community, being of course Mgtow, um, in stating that, of course, women and their hypergamy and high expectations. Be that, of course, if the guy has is more than well-to-do or well-to-do in general, then there's a likelihood that that man will get a longer list of women than the ones that are well-to-do, but say in a moderate stance, and able to survive even on a moderate to minimal stance. Um, but the one thing also is that when they do that, they cannot complain because we men only want one thing from them. Yes, I know I made a video earlier in the spiritual sense, but I'm speaking outside the aspect of spirituality in the sense of what general society has allowed it to play out like. So generally, until women realize that we are human too, if they want to be treated like human beings, in which every time we do, we still get the shaft. In fact, I got the shaft once before by the feminist little bitch that I met on Pal Talk many years ago. And thereby she didn't like the way I was doing my own aspect of advocating it. Doesn't and when a person does his own aspect of his own business, say advocating or whatever the hell else, doesn't mean he has to be getting up at the crack of dawn every morning, going out going out in the fucking free world as it were and fucking doing shit. There could have easily been something on my mind that I wanted to do online. And there was. But yet she didn't see it that way. That didn't really bother me at all, really. I made it look that way, though. I made it look like it did bother me, but it didn't. So basically, women are not the only ones that can play act shit. Mm, and even then, I knew the male and female psyche, as I do now. Mm, the other aspect of it is Mgtow brothers and blue-pilled simps and manginas and white knights and trolls. There's many things I know more about women than in using the psychological aspect of things. And to where not even one woman has even thought of checking to see I wonder how he is. He's wearing, even though he's wearing the Mgtow hat and the shades and the headset and the black jacket and the black shoes and blue jeans type of thing. And just for an example, the basic fact is that as I said in many of my videos, it's okay with me that no woman, and I mean no woman, um, wants to be with me because of the fact that I'm I may send a vibe of sorts that I know more than they really want a guy to know on every level practically. And which brings me to this one particular thing, and I'm doing this as a test as well as I did the Mgtow test that I will also post on the bottom thing, just to give you an example of what type of test I did and what right after the pandemic is gone, I may do another one. But says the one woman says was, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Well, what does every man look for?" But yet, with the feminist movement and the Me Too movement, and with the fact that the feminist woman has made the marriage aspect into a business to benefit woman, basically screws things for the male, doesn't it? Because marriage was not set up to be a business. Marriage was set up for both man and woman to live a happy life, essentially, a long, happy life, and support each other 50-50. But yet, women want it to be 60-40 or 90-20 or 90-0. And when I mean those higher numbers, okay, it's supposed to be 50-50, the man and the woman, right? But yet women want it to be where they get the higher number and we get the lower number. And then I said, what is your reason and what are you looking for with the fact that I have told you already my part of it? She hasn't answered once. Not one time yet. Basic fact is that also, the aspect, the women also bullshit around and bitch, moan, and cry about crying victim, and yet nobody's really the victim. They just want to be showing the weaker card, because aside from the fact that the female gender is already the weaker gender as it is even in today's society. And it says here's one particular cover I'm looking at now as I've been doing this video. Judging men as success objects. And let's see, there's another one. Let's see if there's another one. Um, see if there's another one here. And says proof women think men are, ugly men are creepy. Okay, that's a step towards hell's pit for women. Um, let's see how women really feel about 100% masculinity, essentially masculine men. And also, There should be another one here I saw last time. No mercy if she flakes. That's the one thing I'm referring to. That's one thing I was referring to. Mgtow brothers and blue pill simps, manginas, trolls, and white knights. They have not even an emotional second thought if they flake on you for any given reason, and yet they'll make up the phoniest bullshit excuse that they can come up with. And at times it may seem to be accurate or something, but the basic fact is that only they know, and then of course, as weak-minded as many trolls and simps are, they go to the points of they fucking just fucking expect you to believe them, but yet when you flake on them, when we men flake on them, they expect an answer, and they have many compilations in their minds and their heads and whatnot. Hmm. Oh, minds and heads basically the same thing, nonetheless. Let's see. Stop giving women power. That's what Mgtow's doing. We're not giving women power. That's a good one. Let's see. And the wall. Are you nervous about your looks? Oh boy. The dude that's. I mean, I respect the dude that's doing these videos. As he even interviews a number of these women. But it seems like he's a blue pilled simp too. Mangina, white knight, weakling as well, and yet he's, I think, from England or Germany or something. Whichever the case, but I still respect him. Let's see, there's another one here. Let's see if there's another one. And there was a few others I saw earlier today. Have you noticed how hard it is to be happy? Maybe for women, but not us men. There's a plus. Let's see. Another one is Mgtow brothers. Look up if you go on YouTube, man. You can look up Mgtow response. Thought with outrageous standards. Oh, I've seen that. The video is hilarious, and she finds out she ends up with a practically empty circle, and they start. She starts talking to the circle of men while she sits like I think right in the center, right in the middle, or like behind one of them while they sit in a circle, right? Yeah, trust me, she does end up with practically nobody to go that would be able to be more than favorable to her standards, her hypergamy, her high entitlement bullshit. Mm, let's see, there's another one. I thought I'd do this video in the sense of bringing up all these right here because the one I know the one I mentioned is let's see, Stefan Molinek. Yucks. Yeah, we already know that women love money. That's all they're really focused on. They're not really focused on love, understanding, and all the emotional things that women have been told by us, by our parents, that what women are about. When we later find out that was a full of shit. That was full of shit. Women have become more sinful than ever. I can tell you. Let's see. It says women. Women say boring bedroom is always his fault. Oh, that's a load of shit. That is a load of shit. Women don't want to take, like I said in one of my other videos, that women don't want to take the percentage of fault. They always want to put the full the full aspect, the full fucking circle, the full fucking load on us men, as if everything's our fault and nothing's the woman's fault. That's a fucking stupid shit. And yet they wonder why we men are not gonna fall for that shit. If they think they can go to that judgmental bullshit, and among other things, I can say I thank Heavenly Father that there is a Mgtow, the philosophy, because many of us men would probably be killing ourselves or out in the street because these little fucking hypergamous little bitches, so-called sinful entitled little sluts. And if any feminist women are watching this video, good, because you're hearing the fucking truth. Let's see. Sydney Watson, you're wrong there. There's the same amount of abusive women like there was abusive men, but now there's more abusive women than there are abusive men. The basic fact is that the feminist bitch doesn't like it when things don't go their way. Of course, we learn that in grade school, elementary school, and various other things because they're expecting things to fall in their lap when they expect it to, and they carry that on through their teenage, and they carry that on even through their 20 years of age aspects, and they try to carry it on even through their 30s, and yet they think they can carry it on through their 40s, but they find later that they're not so fucking successful in that because they're about to hit 50, not too far from that point. And a number of them that look like that are 40, they look like they're 50 or 60 at the time because they smoke or drink, and smoking and drinking, it doesn't help either gender, but seeing the fact that women are too focused on their looks and everything, then we make to already know. Mm, oh Jesus! Surprising woman openly talks about female privilege. What female privilege? The fact that they can use us men for, they think they can use us men as secondary income? Uh-uh. They think they can use us men like we're fucking zombies, willing to give in to anything and everything that the fucking woman wants. They're living in a fucking dream world. Alexander Grace, man, seriously, that was my response to surprising woman openly talks about female privilege. Let's take a look at that and see what this little bitch has to say.
Like, you know, in the workforce, sometimes that can be a bit biased. But then again, like, because I was saying I work in childcare and stuff like that, they're very biased against men.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Alexander Grace with Red Pill Interviews. I'm here at Edith Cowan University in Western Australia, and today I'm going to be asking women to share their thoughts about the Red Pill concept of female privilege. According to the Red Pill community, the idea of male privilege is a myth. In our society, it's men who take the most responsibility, have the highest expectations on them, and do the majority of difficult labour. They say that it is women who are the privileged gender. When it comes to dating and relationships, because there is such an abundance of male desire, women have the power as the sexual selectors. In other areas, women are privileged because they can claim men should man up and look after them when it suits them, and at other times demand to be treated as equals. The Red Pill community says that women's claims to be objectified by their looks and therefore disadvantaged is wrong. That beautiful women get things in life a lot easier and are therefore advantaged. The reason women can't see that they're privileged is because they make no effort to empathise with the difficulties of being a man and therefore have no basis for comparison. What are your thoughts?
I think that's very true.
I don't know because I've never been a man.
Like, sometimes, in some aspects, yes, women are more privileged than men, and then in some aspects, like, I feel like men are more privileged.
I think this day and age, we kind of have a pendulum. In the past, for women and men, like, well, men were up here and women here. I think this day and age is coming like this, and we kind of need to balance it out like this a bit more.
Initial thoughts, it's very generalistic. So you can't make bold statements like that and then apply it to individual cases.
There is a lot of gender equality now and things have changed, but then, like, the way things are brought about, they're not fully equal.
Men have been working hard for years, and women want the same opportunities, but they need to accept the fact that men are stronger in some ways and can do things that women can't.
Do you think that female privilege is a myth?
Female privilege. No, I don't think it's a myth. I just think that each person has different privileges that they may or may not be aware of.
No, not really. I think, females are privileged in a way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for both genders, I suppose.
No, I do, like I said before, I do feel like there is certain privileges that women have that men don't have.
They did not have it very easy in the past, and I think this day and age they do have it very easy now. We've got women working wherever they want to work. We've got women in the moon, but not in space, not in the moon, but yeah. So I think, they're doing pretty good, and I think life is pretty easy for them right now.
Does it surprise you to hear that many men don't feel privileged?
It doesn't surprise me. I have a brother, and he's very vocal about, like, how men are not privileged.
No.
It's not a surprise that men don't feel privileged.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yep.
It does not surprise me that men don't feel privileged.
Privilege, I think, is seen from the person that's not privileged. So even anyone that has experienced privilege, they won't see that because it's the other people seeing that they've got their above. Yeah, a little bit. But it always depends on the individual, so I don't know what their story is.
No, it doesn't surprise me anymore. It's so popularized on social media now that about feminism, like women and everything. And they're really been putting men down lately. So I really do feel like men have been doing that.
Do you think it's true that women want to be treated as equals only when it suits them and are happy to revert to traditional gender roles when it doesn't?
Absolutely. I'm not one of them, by the way.
Yes. That's, I feel That yes, it is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think it's true. I know in like in my relationship, I would prefer to be treated like equal, and then other times I'm sort of like, you know, like the man like step up and, you know, sort of like that too.
I think some do. I don't think all of them do. I think some of those who have that sort of mindset that think that way, that they can switch into whatever they like, yes, definitely, but not all of them. I think some of them still have that strong mindset of, what they want to do.
Potentially. I think that anyone would, think that would be the same way for men as well.
No, I think girls always want to be equal no matter what it is, regardless.
Who do you think holds the power as sexual selectors when it comes to dating and relationships, men or women?
Probably women. Yeah.
Probably women, because you don't have to date a gross dude if you don't want to. But then, I don't know, there's a lot of forward guys out there.
Probably the attractive. You know what I mean? Not necessarily men or women, but those that society say are more attractive in both roles.
You don't see a difference?
No.
No worries.
You can be an attractive man and you select which lady you want to go out with. Vice versa. Being a woman, I never felt any power of selection.
I think in this day and age it's still men, because, I don't know, the way women act lately, they've kind of, some of them have let themselves go. It's kind of like, so men find it easier to pick whatever women they want because they let themselves go so loosely. Unfortunately in this day and age.
Well, do you think that beautiful women are privileged or disadvantaged by their looks?
Well, to a degree, I reckon they are advantaged.
Sometimes it can come across as a disadvantage. Because, like, I know that sometimes they feel like people just like them because of their looks and not because of their personality.
Still, you have men out there who will take advantage and just look at the looks and the personality, and then you'll get women who are jealous and will just want to use the whole backlash of like, oh, she's so pretty, she doesn't have a brain, and, you know.
It depends what they want. If they want attention, then it is an advantage. If they did not want the attention and they did not want all the opportunities presented to them, wanted or unwanted, then it's the opposite.
For getting free things, women do tend to use their looks, or for getting Instagram followers. It definitely helps. But then to be taken seriously in mind, to not receive unwanted attention, the things that are.
Why do you think there's such a strong idea of male privilege in modern society?
Is there? I don't think so. I don't think there is. I mean, who said?
Men, like I just said, are trying to, fight back and say that men aren't as privileged as they seem to.
I think because it's suddenly okay to talk about it.
We all want to find problems in the world in this day and age. I think that's just another problem they want to bring up.
Male privilege is something that people talk about, and people will admit, oh yes, I've had privilege. I'm going to acknowledge that. Some people will honour that, and some people will abuse that.
Maybe it just stems from like feudal system sort of stuff where it was run by dudes and kings and all that, and people just followed on from that, but I don't really know. It shouldn't be like that anymore.
Do you think it's true that women can't recognise that they have it so good because they don't really understand what it's like to be a man?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Yes, I think they do because, I don't know, men do find challenges that women don't have.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's hard to be a man or a woman. That's why I can't answer that question.
Sort of, because I feel like no woman's really gonna know what it's like to be a guy.
I'm not sure that that's why they can't recognise their privilege. Perhaps they want the same kind of privilege rather than the one that's benefited them.
Would you rather be male or female in today's
I would rather be a man.
I would rather be a female.
I like being a female.
I'm happy to be female today.
Probably stay a chick.
Unfortunately, I'd rather be a female because females getting a lot of backlash in this day and age, so good to be a female.
I think being a man is easier for a man to make friends who are also men. I think the friendship within females are a little bit different, and I much prefer the kind of friendship men enjoy.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below letting us know what you thought of the girls' sponsors in this video. If you want to show your support to Red Pill interviews, please consider checking out my Patreon.
Boy, I can tell you they had some mixed views there, as you probably did hear. The one thing though is that Mgtow brothers and blue pilled simps manginas trolls. You can't really that basically shows that you can't really trust what women say. They say that even about us. Seriously, they do. I mean, we MGTOW men know this. You blue-pilled simps, trolls, and manginas and white knights need to know that. What is the other aspect is? Well, the other aspect is that women have the continued complexity within themselves that they don't really take time for for themselves to actually sit back, run it through their heads without building more shit onto it, into the thought, and work it out a step at a time. Then do the same thing for the next one, the next day, a step at a time. Because depending on the woman, it may take longer than others. That's why and many other MGTOW members have said that women are, without a doubt, indecisive. So damned high, so-called phonies, sinful, entitled. So much so that they act like 2-year-olds when it comes to hypergamy and many other things. They have their high expectations even of us men. And yet, whenever they put high expectations of and on themselves, they only work on so little, if any, within them. So little in such a way that they think, okay, well, I'm just going to work on this, and then that's it. Then they don't even think of working on any more, even beyond that, the next day, or the day after that, or the day after that, or whenever the hell else, right? Even when they're just sitting around doing practically jack shit, which basically many people are in this particular pandemic issue right now. Outside the ones that are keeping the grocery stores and fast food restaurants open for business, and the pizza parlors open for business. Aside from the fact that bars and various restaurants are sealed tight. Certain restaurants. The aspect is that also that the feminist female doesn't want to go to the aspect of feeling if they if they start going back to the way things were in the sense of respecting the guy and trying to do their best to understand the guy and what we go through. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe we'll have a better chance, like our grandparents did, in the sense of long life with one another. But I know. Hold on. I know that. Anyways, I know the feminist female will put stipulations on. Yeah, only stipulations that will only benefit them. Stipulations that you think that the man will agree with and go with. Much like the damn piece of paper that even the courts can easily use like toilet paper. And that thing is known as a prenuptial agreement. On a short rendition of it, known as a prenup. Um, but yet the only one that the courts haven't thrown and used like toilet paper are the women's prenup. Hmm. And yet women wonder why. One of many, even moderate to small reasons why we men will not submit ourselves to be taken for all we have financially and in the sense of resource uh, as well as an apartment aspect, right? The apartment aspect, the or even the house aspect, or whatever type of housing aspect. Um, because the woman is acting like she's single, only out for themselves. Even though when she's in a relationship, they still act like they're out for themselves. When they're in a marriage, same damn thing. Because even with the aspect of the marriage is supposed to be 50-50, and yet they still feel like, no, I need to focus on me. And he needs to focus on me more than he needs to focus on him. He doesn't really need to focus on him. He's doing well enough for himself. He doesn't have to focus on him as much as I need to focus on me, and as much as he needs to focus on me. I need the most attention. That's their fucking mindset. We Mgtow men know this. If many Mgtow men that don't know this, they do know this now. The blue-pilled simps, white knights, and manginas, and the trolls as well know this now. Along with your with the fact that you heard various different types of opinions and vocal sayings from those women. But the one thing is, just because those women have their own aspects doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing with every woman with the same conceptual mindset. Because they don't all have the same mindset. But the one thing is, we Migta men have heard this. Not all women are the same. I'm like, and I'm like thinking, okay, like they may not be all the same in the sense of like, say, their living situations, their general surroundings of how they were raised and the way they were raised, essentially, and in what manner they were raised. But the end result has always been the same as every other fucking feminist bitch. And we Mgtow men have said it time and time and time and time and so on and so forth. So much so that it should be sinking in to the feminist female by now, especially. The one thing is, you blue pilled trolls, and I know I mentioned one earlier on my Mgtow video earlier that I did today. Think that you're God's gift to women? You're not. You blue-pilled simps want to feel the same way as if you're God's gift to women. At least you know you're not. That's the logical part of it. And you're hoping that you can be seen that way by a woman in general. I understand that. But that's not reality. Logical Mgtow Spock knows this for a fact, right here. I do. Being logical Mgtow Spock knows this. We've all gone through that mindset of hoping that we'll have a woman that looks at us and regards us that way, even puts us on the pedestal in that sense, the metaphorical pedestal that is. But that's not reality. Women want to be put on that same fucking metaphorical pedestal, and they'll bitch and moan if they're not. Like little 2-year olds, like I keep mentioning on a good and large number of my videos so far. Is not enough for them that they're able to vote again. They're able to be employed since 1979, which was the year of the Equal Rights Amendment bill that was put into place after the ERA feminist movement of the 1970s made it more than possible. But of course, the feminist movement in the 1970s obviously wasn't enough, was it now, feminist bitches? You had to go even further and more to the points of sinful actions by expecting the guy to go by your emotional psychological aspect, even with the fact that he needed to work in order to make a living for both of you, if you are cohabitating with him still. And without that, then you both are shit out of luck. You feminist women could easily be in way worse straits than like he it would be without that without that income. Regardless if you're working or not, you would be homeless because I know you don't want to spend your money on getting your own place, especially the way rents are nowadays, especially for certain areas. The one thing is that in the 1950s and 60s, our grandparents and parents um, went to the points of where if the father had to work, they'd stay faithful, loyal, and devoted. Stay at home, be a mother to the child or children, while the father works his ass off and fucking brings home the bacon, as it were, metaphorically. And everything was on the, that was my phone, by the way, YouTube and BitChute. Anyways, and everything was on the up and up. They may have had some financial issues when it came to, say, bill paying and mortgage or rent or whatever. But outside of that, they eventually resolved everything, and the family was still a full circle, full round circle, sort of, right? And the one thing is that and the one thing is also is that the women have, that was my phone again. Anyways, and basically the feminist women have completely screwed that over. Yes, they've also screwed it over in such a way that if they feel like they are getting enough attention, even while both the man and the woman are working, right? They eat up that additional attention that they get from other guys that they meet while working, be that in retail or whatever. And with that they use that advantage, and at times they'll I go to the points where they by no one's fault of anyone's but the fucking feminist females' own fault, and they cheat on their husband or boyfriend that they're living with or might be planning to live with. And they don't tell the boyfriend or husband or male fiance. Yet, if it laid out to where we men were to have that happen, then the one thing is simply that they'd expect us to tell them, but they don't have to tell us. There's no fairness in that at all. And talk about privileged. Women are the most privileged, illogical, sinful little freaks and sluts that 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 has ever been put into an actuality. Not by the makings of Heavenly Father, of course, but by the own illogical, sinful decisions by the feminist female. And the one thing is, the the video that I have on Instagram that I did last night, when the one dude was well, he had an investigative service watch his fiance or girlfriend at the time, watch where she goes and all this, right? Then he finds out that she was cheating on him. After all things were said and done, he finds out by the video aspects of what the investigative service showed him that the girlfriend was cheating on him with another woman, and yet even on this same program that I saw that I may at one point do a video on, maybe next weekend, or something, the where the woman does the same thing but with another guy. The one where it has the girlfriend doing something with another woman. I have it on Instagram. Women are the most privileged ones, more so than they were in the 1970s, more than they were in the 1960s, more than they were in the 1950s. Way to the points to where it overtakes us men. The fucking fact of it is that no woman can say, we're not that privileged. Oh, really? I'd easily say, guess what? Picture this. You and I marry, and you are happy at some point till your indecisiveness kicks in, your indecision kicks in, your psychological aspects of all other emotional psychological things that kick in, and you go to the points of almost depression, and you go to the points to where that what I'm doing for you and for us essentially is not enough. That and to where I don't spend enough time with you and for you. But yet, when I want the same thing, say on a day off or vacation aspect or whatever, then you do the same thing to me that you have done that you feel that I've done to you. Yet, when it comes down to it, you decide to do the cheating aspect, which is against the Bible, and yet and you continue doing this even behind my back, then you think you're going to be entitled and justified to do so when really in a spiritual sense you're not, regardless of you, even if you do repent more than one time each time you do it, but yet Heavenly Father forgives you only for so long, for so many times, and that's it. But yet you still do it thinking that you're justified for doing it when really you're not. Then you go to the points of divorce aspects. Then daddy government gives you everything of almost a good percentage of what I have and what I have earned, even before I even met you or even knew you existed. And you call that not what I not to the aspect of what I said there. She wouldn't know what the fuck to say. Thereby, I'd say, yeah, you women are privileged, way more so than you will ever want to admit, because you don't want to seem like you're overabundantly taking advantage of things for your own selfish bullshit, sinful feminist benefits. And you think that we men are going to be just sitting back and being okay with it? We're not. Because whenever we got things that you wanted to get, you women didn't like it either, but you dealt with it eventually. But eventually, after that eventually went to the points where you were able to fucking do something about it. But you did something about it in such a way that you manipulated the government to only favor you more than the guy. Like if you wanted to turn this whole fucking thing into the matriarchal society again. And the matriarchal society cannot be brought back. and never will be brought back. And for those who haven't and who don't know what the matriarchal society is, I've said this in one of my other videos. Watch Star Trek: The Next Generation episode Angel 1. That right there, even in the futuristic depiction of it, that right there will show you the the version of the matriarchal society where women had the power say so and over the man. Like Amazon women, like Xena, in a sense. So no woman can say that they're not privileged. That they're not as privileged as it's been said that they are. If daddy government was more on the 50-50 aspect like it should be in marriage, and if women didn't treat marriage like a fucking business, like it when it's supposed to be, it was set up in a spiritual sense, not into a money making endeavor. And if women would quit bitching and moaning like two little fucking children, expecting to get what more than what they're getting, when basically they only can handle so much anyway. We men can only handle so much. We men are only given what we can handle. So therefore, women are only given what they can handle. But yet, women want more because they see that men are getting more, when really we're not really getting quite as much as it may seem or even look. Each person gets what they are seen and able to logically and realistically handle. Whether if they run their own business, whether if they are in office positions, whether if they're in government positions, whether if they're in retail positions, whether if they're in any particular position that there is, even in the sense of city and county positions, and city and state and county positions. So women have no fucking logical, spiritual right to bitch and moan on that aspect. Yet they keep on doing it, and yet the daddy government is allowing it to happen to because the daddy government doesn't want to hear their little whining and moaning and bitching. Basically, daddy government's giving in too damn easy. But when we want something, no, we have to work our asses off harder and harder in order to get what we want. But when women do it, oh, okay, sweetheart, here you go. Enough whining and bitching, here you go. You know, you're giving me a headache, you whining little bitch. Here you go. That's what basically daddy government. There's many other aspects to it I can say, but I know the Mgtow brothers can get what I'm saying. So logically, the feminist women cannot bitch because Mgtow knows the feminist woman's bullshit, thanks to me as well. And thanks to Mr. Vicious, and thanks to Mike the Mgtow Man and James Von Maxwell to start with. We all have the added aspects of and knowledge of what how far and how how sinfully orchestrated the women have gotten, and thinking that we men have no choice but to just lay back and deal with it, as even as they take us for everything we have economically and in itemization as well as ownership aspects, whether it's a building or something else, or even a vehicle, or an RV, a houseboat, any particular thing with a roof overhead type of concept as well. Anything that they'd be able to make a profit off of outside the male concept, the human being concept for the female. Yet I know the fucking fact if we turned around, if we had things turned around to where the man where the men were to do the same thing to the woman, if things were turned around, thankfully they're not, but if they were, women would bitch and moan and cry and complain till hell freezes over. And that's a long ass time. Way more than we would really want to admit and even acknowledge. And even with the aspect of Mgtow, women think that we have no right to go our own way. We should stay in the plantation and and try to do better when it comes to the female gender. No, no. They want us to. If they wanted us to do better, then they wouldn't be putting the aspect of daddy government to take us for everything we have, financially and otherwise. They would work with us like they're supposed to. Whether or not if they really wanted to, that's another aspect to it. Obviously, they don't want to take the effort because they don't know how to. For one, they don't want to use the energy to be supportive, but they want us men to be supportive on what they think that's important for them and to them. But when it comes to us, no, 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 no. There's no fairness in that now, is there, you little fucking feminist bitches? There's no base of equality in that, especially. It's just lay back and deal with it, guys, right? Right, feminists? Like you felt, like you women probably, a number of you women felt like just lay back and deal with it, right? We got what we needed for us men, and you felt like you were not well attended to and what have you else. That you just had were essentially told in another way of saying, lay back and deal with it, ladies. We're gonna get what we want when we want it. Even after the fucking ERA allowed you fucking women to get into the working world, you did for a time, and then a number of you backed away because it was too hard on you and for you. Or it was the fact that you got too damn fucking lazy and too fucking entitled that you didn't want to do it, and so you fucking just stayed at home being a mother to your children, to your husbands and your children, and therefore, after a while, you got bored and so frustrated and annoyed and whatnot. You wanted to go back in the working world, and right when it got even harder for you, you just gave in and gave up again. Therefore, now the secondary part of it was that you fucking went into the points of daddy government giving you everything that we men have built up for ourselves before we even met you, and even that goes with the base of it, the aspect of money as well as items as well as things that we already own that help that keep us warm and with the fact of a roof over our head type of aspect. That you've wanted to get that to feel important and entitled and paid attention to and much more that you didn't give a damn of what it did to the fucking male. And now you bitches want to fucking act like, oh, they don't have a right to go their own way. They shouldn't be in Mgtow. Mgtow should be gone. Men should be subservient to us. Because we were always subservient to them. No, you weren't. Maybe in the 50s and 60s and 40s and 20s and 30s, it may have seemed that way, but that wasn't 100% the aspect. Because men, even then, respected the woman, regardless, even if they didn't see it or even feel it at any given point in time. Therefore, you cannot justify that things that are not really there just to make you women feel better. You had the right. You have a right to feel entitled. We have a right to go our own way. You women think you have a right to get daddy government to take us for everything we have financially and economically, and also within the aspect of house, apartment, car, whatever itemizations on top of that. Then we feel we have a right to go our own way, so we don't have to deal with your bitch, fucking phony, hypergamy, high entitlement crap. Your illogical, sinful cheating and adultery, in the sense of adultery, going against the Bible type of bullshit. Just because you're indecisive and unhappy within yourself, and yet you want to blame us men for everything that you think that you can get away with, especially when it comes to the base of the bedroom or anything else for that fucking matter. That you know that you feel that daddy government would easily fucking kiss your fucking feminist asses on and about. And white knight for your sorry feminist bitch asses. Yet you want us the men to see how it feels to lay back and take it as you women take us for everything we have and own and earned even before we even met you fucking feminist bitches. It me you it's true that times were different and women weren't sure exactly if they would be able to do anything or if any generation of women would be doing anything or even put the initiative. But the one thing is, regardless of that, it doesn't give you a right to take advantage of us men because you feel that you were taken advantage of in any number of ways that you can come up with and make up. Now think about that. We men are going to keep on going our own way, and you women are going to be on your own. And if you go against the Bible in the sense of lesbianism, that's between you and Heavenly Father. Of course, you'll be going into pits of hell for that, especially, as well as the cheating aspect, as well as the illogical, sinful hypergamy, the illogical, sinful, high entitlement bullshit, and the expectation shit and whatnot else. And also using what Heavenly Father and our Savior put together in a spiritual positive thing, which was base of marriage, where you women have turned it into a business to make a financial banking for yourselves. That's also a sin right there. Along with that, you're gonna have you women are gonna have the aspect of the birth rate falling, all because of the large number of negative shit that I've said that you women have caused and have done, even against us men, and you think you're justified and entitled to to have it done? No. And you think we're gonna just lay back and take it? No. We men are going our own way, and we are gonna continue going our own way. We don't need to deal with your crap anymore. We didn't even have to deal with your crap then. So therefore, you women have no alternative but to deal with the fucking fact that we men have gone our own way because of your bullshit things that I mentioned on each and every one of my videos. To start with, and what each and every other Mgtow member has mentioned on their videos. As Tom Leica says, you feminist women are only good for one thing: the cum dumpster. Just hit it and quit it, and that's it. We don't marry your sorry asses, where we don't where we don't have to deal with your bitchiness and all that crap, and all your so-called sinful high entitlements and other shit. You don't like that reality of it? You should know the old saying, you made the bed, now lay in it. Feminist bitches. Mgtow Brothers. Um, I have decided not to put my videos on there, but I do have the video on YouTube as well as BitChute that has my 2 videos that I did the test. And I may keep also doing the test on this thing, on the chat thing. And I will also do another aspect of the video if I can come up, if I can get to it as well. But like I said, I will do another test once this pandemic situation is gone. This is Logical Mgtow Spock. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for spending the time to watch this video. And also, do not marry, do not remarry, do not cohabitate with a feminist bitch. Do not fall into their feminist bullshit traps. And do not believe the feminist woman, even if they say that they're not feminist when really they are. And also, stay strong, stay self-assured, self-confident. Believe in yourself, have trust in and faith in yourself. Mgtow brothers and future Mgtow brothers and soon to be Mgtow brothers. And know that Heavenly Father and our Savior, Jesus Christ, is always going to be with you. And no, you don't have to be religious. And no, you don't have to be a churchgoer either on that. And know this: each one of our Mgtow brothers will help you through things the best way they know how to, and the best way I know how to. Yes, I know the male and female psyche, aside from what you heard in this video about a minute ago now. But the basic fact is, what we Mgtow men have said and are continuously saying, even with the experiences that we have, even while happily single, even while we go out there, and even before and during, and maybe a little bit during, and maybe also after the pandemic situation is done. There's a reason for it, because we've had experiences, and we've faced things. We've even encountered things even that our friends have encountered. And one of my old friends I didn't mention, but I will mention on the next video. But again, stay strong, stay self-assured, self-confident, have faith, belief, and understanding within yourself and for yourself, and never marry and never remarry. Stay strong, don't fall into feminist bullshit traps, and stay free from feminism, and live long and prosper. Stay safe, stay strong and healthy. Mgtow brothers and future Mgtow brothers and soon to be Mgtow brothers. Mgtow for life. Have a good day.